Alrighty, so more adversary routes. I like how the bout emote is just a is just a greeting now. The Bowser emote. We're going to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin.
Yep.
The interior of the cabin is almost...
Take blade.
You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement creaks open.
Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Tell her there's no way I'm gonna kill her. No.
Then drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare. It's fine. You ignore the trembling and...
Okay. And slay the princess.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your...
Oh, give up.
Are you serious?
Really?
As internal bleeding sets in, the blade falls from your trembling hands, clattering to the ground uselessly. You lacked the will to finish the job, your bruised and broken body falling to its knees before her. The princess, exhausted, chest heaving with heavy breaths, tosses the blade away from you. This is the end, isn't it?
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She plants her foot on your chest and pushes you onto your back, the air leaving your lungs in a heavy puff. And then she brings her knee to your throat. She leans into it with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess, shattering your windpipe and leaving you starved for breath.
It's too bad. I was looking forward to some company.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
A tower?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I'm literally following the directions. That's so weird. She's gonna kill me again.
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
I was supposed to slay her, but it just told me to give up. Like, I didn't have a... Like, maybe it was the way I answered, like, no.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
Oh, really? I need to do, like, one each every time?
She is not going to kill you unless you let her, but slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Okay. Well, if we're in the tower... Yeah, but give up. Okay. Okay. Oh, let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
It is.
You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
No, I listened to you. I went to kill her.
Of course we died. She didn't feel pain. She didn't feel much of anything, did she? And she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die. What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless. She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Although I agree with the narrator in certain parts, I absolutely want to punch him in the face.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got it.
We've already heard this.
What do you think the people there live? If
We've
she
already heard
ended the
this.
entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end. Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
Oh wow, this is for once a voice that is not me.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
Yeah.
I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
No, you're not.
You're being annoying.
Yeah. Oh, everybody does that.
Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible.
Not Clayton! Not Clayton! That's mine. I know what Katie's is. What will it be? Belle or the Woes? Yeah, there it is! That's Kingdom Hearts 2. Fighting one of the hardest bosses in the game. Who should not be one of the hardest bosses. He's bullshit. Then again, Demyx was worse. Fucking Zaldin.
So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be.
My reference is Kingdom Hearts 1 in Deep Jungle, Tarzan's world.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
Oh my god, bro. I'm gonna put your face into the wall. I don't like the broken.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
With or without the knife? Okay.
No blade this time. Yeah. Maybe she'll be more receptive if we're unarmed. Blade, no blade. It doesn't matter. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. This is actually kind of nice.
Ren, by your reaction, I'm guessing you actually know, like you did some digging.
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Glad to have some representation of some of my inner thoughts. You need to slam some of those inner thoughts against the wall.
Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear?
Oh.
Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
I'm trying real hard not to simp for the princess, alright? Oh. Which time? Well, no, don't answer that. Yes, I am actually trying really hard. Yes.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. You shouldn't have come down here unarmed. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
Okay, suddenly the voice of the broken is me. God damn it.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants.
Welcome to the second pillar of Princess Zapp.
I see your hands are empty. You've already given up, haven't you? You aren't even going to try and kill me. How sweet. And more than a little disappointing.
She's disappointed in us?
Kneel.
Follow her every command. Yes,
On her
ma'am.
command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, Why don't we talk?
The last time we met, you tried to kill me. And yet here you are again. This time groveling at my feet. What a wretched sight. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
The last time we met? I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
I don't think I can refuse her. Sorry.
Are you serious? Just don't say anything. How hard can it be to not say anything? You haven't felt her angelic fingers run along the edges of your mind. You haven't felt her nails dig into your thoughts. You weak-willed buffoon.
Yes, I am.
Is that so?
The princess closes her eyes in contemplation.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten.
Talk, like about anything? Okay, in 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team. So much. Did you type that from memory or did you copy paste that? Because either way, I am impressed. You were just like, yeah, the A-Team thing, let's go. No, Strav is not dead. What? I'm good. Dream did it die? Okay, so probably a Twitch malfunction. Got it.
The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
She's inevitable. There's nothing else for us to do but help her. Maybe she'll be nice to us.
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
You're so powerful, why can't you break them yourself?
Don't be rude. Of course she can. It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world. That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful god unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you, being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn.
Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me,
my will triumphs over yours.
Yeah, what happened to you after I died?
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird.
there's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet. Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent? All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong. Trying to conceal you from me.
Huh.
Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you?
A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about?
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
Cool.
Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? We don't even have a weapon. All you need to do is believe it's been done. Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
What happens now?
Nothing. And then, everything.
Your obedient servant. Even unlocked. And so I should also get a dominant vessel as well. You do not take her hand, nor will you ever. It is time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror?
Okay, he's panicking again. Gonna be okay.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
I'll see you on the other side.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. A mercy.
You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. The decay. You've withered. So we grew, and then we withered. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You are at the cabin. Different angle.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Contradictions always exist. That's a dumb fucking thing. How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul. This one is dominance, a figure capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for a terrifying and divine heart. Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you.
Have you figured out what you'll want when you finish? When we finish?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Okay, so I have to do one route per... Okay. Yep, a dominant vessel. Bring the tower to her. Okay, so
You're
we're
on a
going
path
beast.
in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. Don't mention it. It's all part of the job.
Okay, so the narrator's like a little thing trying to hide. Oh, interesting.
You make your way up the short path to the interior of the cabin is almost
Got the knife.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Oh.
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Do not tell her that you're here to save her.
Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Let's talk a bit first.
Okay.
Don't get close. Alright. If I'm the first person you've seen in a while, what have you been eating or drinking?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
What are you gonna do if I let you out of here?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter. It's not like you'd believe me.
Your name.
Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
So is Princess your name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
You have all the explanation you need, and you should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
I'm sent here to kill ya.
Would everything feel right about you if you were locked away in a hole by yourself for as long as you can remember?
Just how long has she been down here?
So, did they tell you why I'm supposed to be so dangerous?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
I don't know how to destroy the world, if that's what you're getting at.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. I don't trust that, and I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me. This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about. Do you really think I can even end the world? Why would I even want to? We both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here, and it's whoever sent you here. And those two groups are probably one and the same.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
See, he's supposed to throw the fucking dagger. I don't know how to make the narrator throw the dagger. I mean, I went looking and I didn't see it. All of these say when the narrator throws the knife. Except for when you take the knife down with you. I'm going to examine the chains, I guess.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you, and you won't. I promise.
You're making a huge mistake.
Bro, throw the fucking dagger.
No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
If there isn't a key, do you have any other ideas?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Okay.
Is someone else here? Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess.
Oh, did he close the
and
door?
You won't leave until the task is done.
Well, now I don't have something, dumbass.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates
God!
before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here,
Here
but if
it
there's a time to
is.
strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Slay the princess.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally. The wound drives her to the ground. Okay, There's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure.
Other playthroughs or other routes have said otherwise.
Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm. Your knife cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw. Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this around.
Yep.
Are you serious? As what's left of your blood pools around you on the cobblestone floor, the blade falls from your trembling hands and clatters uselessly against the ground. I suppose you simply lacked the will to finish the job. The princess, wounded but still alive, nervously jumps at the blade and kicks it far away from you before retreating into a dark corner of the room. Her shining eyes watch you from the darkness, unblinking and curious as you bleed out. We can only hope the wounds you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, they'll kill her before she can reach the outside world.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
This is the end, isn't it? Before you can answer, everything goes dark,
and you die.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that, you're here to slay her.
If you don't, it'll be the end of the world. Okay, I did what I wanted to do. So, okay, no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now.
So who do we have
and
now?
the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then if he doesn't remember what happened,
The Hunted.
then something else must have trapped us here. You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, though the only sensible thing for you to do right now is march up to that cabin and slay the princess. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will
do
does a cat
everything in her
lie to
power.
a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature? I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered. She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell.
Interesting.
That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe.
Huh. Hi.
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated.
Oh.
It feels like no one has lived here for a long time, wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. No steel claw. Do you think we can talk our way out of this? I don't think she wants to talk. I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the right call. It'll still be here if we need it.
Yeah, you
The
thought
door
that
to the
last
basement
time.
creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager.
As if you're descending into Florida.
You carefully make your way down the stairs.
You just go down into the basement and it's just like Disney World, Universal Studio. Fucking Cape Canaveral. The Everglades. She's in the Everglades.
The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit
Oh, it is
pit.
Florida.
The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness.
This isn't the Epcot I signed up for, Danny. It's not the Disney princess I asked for. Put her back. You see her dressed in a tank top.
The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her.
Oh, is she furry bait now?
Remember, she's just a princess.
That was the tale.
She is certainly not just a princess.
I thought that chain sound just there was Binks's bell for a second.
You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I was like, where? And then I saw it.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
Don't you hear that clinking? She's in chains again. We're fine.
We're not. Move. There's a shift in the humid air, and something enormous, the princess, lunges from the shadows, her maw unhinged and dripping, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. She is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to overpower. This is her domain. You are devoured. I guess that's it then, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't it. You are in a dark and caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time.
You spoke when you needed to act.
The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting, then burn as the
Huzzy
acid
and Katie
begins its
talked
slow
about Borth
work.
the exact same time, and I'm not looking at the screen.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
Yeah, I want to go back to furry bait.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her.
I think I should have moved.
Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something. We don't have steel, but we have tooth and claw. Tear through her before we are her.
Or maybe not. You can leave.
Oh, can I?
The click of what you presume to be a door ripples through the layers of suffocating flesh.
That wasn't so hard.
You feel her take another massive step, and then another, and then...
Dissolving will free a creature under extreme duress.
and then... It's gone quiet, hasn't it?
You can feel a churning in the forms around you, then a wet tunneling before you are ejected to a place that is nowhere at all. Oh, the hands took her.
I guess I don't need you to be a part of me.
Oh no.
How lucky for you.
Yeah, that's furry bait.
This place is cold.
Oh, God, that was gross. Okay, so I was going for the one I meant to. Okay. Before you can say anything to her, she's gone. Memory returns.
She's gone. We're...
Going to be okay.
It feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
Thing reads death. Be on the other side.
Okay. If you say so.
I'd like to be somewhere
trust you.
nice. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave. You need to see what's in it. The remains you've unraveled. Find yourself in the long quiet again. We're at the cabin.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there?
Is that a rhetorical question? Do you know? Do you want to tell me?
Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known flickers of the lives you've brought me. Short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins.
I love her music too.
I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there?
There's trees and stars, and there are people, I think. At least there are supposed to be people.
There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
Do you think anything out is real out there? Do you think we're real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something, but nothing cannot exist on its own, and because of that, nothing can't exist. This one is consumed by instinct, a predator pushing those around her to adapt. She will make for a bold heart. She wishes me to devour you, to make you a part of myself, but she is only a voice. Do not mourn her, for she is part of something greater.
You know what's gonna happen when you awaken.
If I did, I would already be awake.
When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator, and he wants me to kill you. You have a narrator. Have the vessels had one? Oh, that's a good question.
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
He does. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact. Don't know what I'm gonna do. I find him. You and I are finally going to have answers. I'm gonna kill him. You're gonna keep that to yourself. Finally gonna have some answer.
Do not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves. One. Whatever you bring me next will be enough.
Really?
And then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular. A final multitude. The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are.
Interesting. Okay, so you don't need to collect all of the routes.
I will be here, waiting for you.
Barrel vessel. Bring the beast keeper. Interesting.
You're on a path in the woods.
Okay.
You make your
so
way up the short path to the cabin.
The damsel.
You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and
Basement. It's gonna be pretty similar
the
to
door to
last
the
time.
basement. How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist. She's beautiful. I am begging you to
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
I'll see what I can do.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the...
I'm gonna check upstairs.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement.
Yeah.
You make your way to the bottom of the
Narrator
stairs.
locked us. Save the princess.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
Thank God.
No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Just Monica. Just Monica. Just Monica. Warn her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Bro, every time we've tried to kill her, she's killed us too. Resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
Fuck you.
As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
Narrator's prolonging it, because usually when it's just like, when he's like less frustrated with you, it's like, oh, everything goes dark and you die, which he could have done by now.
I'm so sorry.
But he's like, no, you're gonna feel everything.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark. And you die.
The narrator wanted us to suffer.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to sleep.
Yeah, okay, no. Narrator is a jerk. Yeah, oh, you bastard. You're in for it now. Yeah.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time.
No, you made him die a very painful death last time.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time,
the
did he?
Smitten.
If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Cool, you just added it.
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess
Zapp
are in
Brannigan?
love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
4 of us. Hang on. Narrator aside. It's the hero, the Smitten, the princess, and I guess us, the player? But seriously, that sounds like Zapp Brannigan, doesn't it? Like, he sounds like he's trying to do a Zapp Brannigan voice. It does. Yes, good.
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. Sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on
A
the
British
cheek.
Zapp Brannigan. Brannigan's law is like Brannigan's love. Hard and fast. I love Zapp Brannigan. He's amazing. Fucking asshole. I love that he's supposed to be a Kirk parody.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Oh, let's just...
A warning. Before you
She will lie, she will cheat.
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
We went from Zapp Brannigan to the energy of die, monster. You don't belong in this world. Just the way he delivered that with your little game.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Literally just Zapp Brannigan.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet.
No, he can keep talking. He's
Don't pay
funny.
their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
So there is us, the player, and we are sometimes the hero and sometimes not.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay. Nope.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice, it's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
Oh god, she's too anime. He is a monster.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing, and she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
Well, you've been a dick the whole time, so yes.
Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before. That's right, villain, and you killed us.
Yeah.
Well, she killed us.
No, he forced us to shoujo for death.
Only because he made us try and kill her.
Yeah,
it was
Smitten's right.
self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
I don't know about that one, but yeah, the narrator controlled us.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world, but everything reset.
Not in a multiverse.
Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. And you can't keep hopping between worlds forever.
Yup.
Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind
Oh.
you. This is horrible.
That's why routes are locked off, because that whole world, the adversary world, the beast world, the stranger world, those are all cut off because each one ends. That's why those routes are cut off. Interesting.
Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is.
Oh my god.
Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her? We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
Waifu Simulator. What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
But before we started talking, did the world end? You end the world.
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Jesus. No, I didn't want the world to end.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry about what happened last time. The narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was extremely unfair.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence. Rescue her? What are you talking about? Did you forget that she's a world-ending monstrosity? And even if you wanted to unleash her onto the world, despite the complete moral disaster that would be, you'd have to get her out of those chains. Good luck with that. Don't you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her out with ease. No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. If her hand could just slip out of the chains, why hasn't she done it already? Because we've yet to present her with her freedom. I'm not sure I follow. Would you rather believe me, a passionate heart guided by love and my own good nature? Or would you rather believe the devil on your shoulder who tells you what you can and cannot do? I think I'd rather believe in facts. Ah, so you're one of those empiricists. One of us has to be. Then let me show you a brand new truth. Narrator, we courageously step forward and free our beloved from her bindings.
The rolling R's.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
Oh, Jesus!
You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings, and doesn't the world end if we don't stop her?
I'm sorry, I thought I left the Ren Fair at the Ren Fair. Never. Never ever.
You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
Based on what the narrator said in other routes, if we think something, if we believe something, we start thinking a thought and finish it, it happens.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
What do you want to do?
Let me guess. End the world?
Shut up.
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
When it comes from you, yes.
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I want you to tell me what you want.
I just want to make you happy.
She can't just want to make us happy.
That's so anime right now, Jesus.
It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
Yeah. Also, this music's getting a little distorted. What would make you happy?
I just want to make you happy.
Oh, Jesus! That's happening on purpose.
Is she broken? What's going on? What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
Make her more moe. Oh, you've seen this one? You have to want something more than just making me happy.
Okay, I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
Oh, Jesus.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
But you need your own thing. You just met me. You can't base your entire happiness on me.
Okay, if that's what makes you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here?
And they lived happily ever after. Okay, so I didn't get romantic haze, because I think I talked to her too much. She wants you dead now. Nope. She's gone.
No. She was our perfect match. She's gone. Where did she go? And is that a...
Gonna be okay.
It feels so bad. Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right?
I'll hopefully see you on the other side.
Okay. She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
Approach the mirror. You are nothing at all? But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze, and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection. Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
What? A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image of the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. So you're the narrator. Whoa! What are you? If you're not like me, then what are you? It hurt when pieces of you break off like that. I don't want to destroy you. Every time I ask you something, it's like a piece of you breaks. You're part of me or something else. There's so much. I've met you so many times. Have you been the same you all? Well, I wasn't supposed to see this, obviously, but
I haven't, and that's by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
after everything you've done to us, do you think anyone deserves to live? Yeah.
Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you.
What are you?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
So you do know about the looping. So many of the times I met you, you denied it was even a possibility. Why did you lie to me?
Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. And for all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me. I can tell you for a fact that I'm right.
If you made me, then what am I?
You're the long quiet. the god I made to rid the world of death.
What?
Yes, you are special, unique even, and you still have a task that you need to do, and only you can do it.
Yeah, why have you wanted me to slay the princess?
Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. And despite how far you've fallen, you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
Were you a god?
No. In life, I was painfully mortal. A witness to the end of days. I held the fear of death in my heart and saw oblivion threaten the very memory of everything I knew and everyone I loved. I needed to do something.
I can hear the tone in Katie's voice. Like, you created a god, and you're now trying to control said god. I don't think you understand what you did. It's just Katie like, you fucking idiot.
So I made you. And I made her.
What?
And I made this place to hold you both.
What is the princess?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. Seems that every me you met did a real shit job of it, though.
You can ask a lot of questions. Why couldn't you be an ant or a slice of soggy bread? Oh wow, there's a lot more. What did you make us out
The
of?
cycle of life and death, the endless pattern of creation and destruction. I tore it in two and shaped the fraying threads into you and her.
Death of the author, run out of questions. Think you're out of time. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do.
I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
The final fragment of glass shatters. You see yourself with newfound clarity. The long quiet, all of this is you. The narrator was right. You are the long quiet, a vast and nascent god. And it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Proceed to the cabin one last time. An idealized vessel, bring the deconstructed damsel to her. Yeah, I got that instead of romantic haze, because I was like, what's the moe shit? When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There's nothing for you to find. She's complete.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
She's been the hill the whole time, and then just someone else in chat, smash. Do you know about the echo? You hear our conversation.
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
I'm the long quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
Happens now.
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
There's so many stories we've left unfinished. Can we really just leave?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end. Pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
Talk this through.
My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach, and you cannot rationalize that which defies logic. But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it. Your love ray drives a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? Love melted into skepticism, and you pulled back layer after layer after layer, until all you were left with was the knowledge that you did not know me. You sought the truth then. Will you hide from it, now that it is within your grasp?
Speak about life and death and change and stagnation. That isn't what any of this has been about.
Oh, is it not? Perhaps you can enlighten me. You are divine. Pray for something bigger than you that stalks and slinks in shadows. Within, you are tightly bound and choke on heavy air as acid burns its way into your pores. A nest of things devouring within things devouring. But even when dissolved, you gifted me a life. Perhaps it was fear that drove you. Perhaps it was compassion. But the outcome of an act matters more than its intentions. There is a natural order to the cycle of things sustaining things. A world without sustenance is a world without relationships. And it is our relationships that give us form and substance.
It's just always been about us, the people forced to hurt each other again and again, but we don't have to hurt each other anymore.
You cling to your notion of pain as suffering. There is beauty in ugliness, and love in conflict. You are
black hole of self-loathing fed by the matter of your restless thoughts. A dog blind to its leash. But there is no light without the dark. When I proclaimed my godhood and offered you a place at my side, you gladly became the instrument of my new creation. Only with both of us is there a future to look towards. It is hope that carves meaning into being.
Address this vessel's statement directly. Oh, I missed when that was you. Interesting. I'm gonna continue to appeal to shared humanity. There can be love and conflict and beauty and ugliness without us bringing the whole of reality into the picture.
We are the whole of reality.
The sensation of bleeding and sweating and breaking and mending and dying and living comes back in vivid color. You feel the shame of 100 deaths and the pride of 100 conquests. All of the peaks and valleys weaving themselves into a single tapestry, free of beginning and free of end. Do you remember when we killed each other with such fervent passion that death itself no longer sat on our shoulders?
Could have worked together to build something better.
But for us, that was better. For me, there was no better end. I lost myself in an artistry so profound that it lifted both of us into something greater.
As the clash between the two of you abates, you begin to shake, your will rapidly dissolving.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
I never wanted to fight you, but how do we leave?
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final piece lies with you.
Just unlocked an achievement through conflict. The description is life's meaning. Free yourself. You fall into yourself. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Everything here, except for her, is you. You feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, but twisted and crumpled and bound in agonizing tension to a finite plane. You can feel the glass of the construct pressing in on you, confining you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it, but it does not yield.
I love you.
And all at once, the unyielding tension breaks. You are free, and she is with you.
It's magnificent.
There are no words, no thoughts, describe absolute reality. Something that simply is. What happens now?
Everything. Just like it always has been. And just like it always will be.
Step into the infinite. You and she step forward into 1,000 dawns and 1,000 sunsets, each of which contain 1,000 more. You exist, and you are aware, just as you always has been, and just as you always will be. Though conflict is in your nature, the two of you will never be alone, and the two of you will never know fear. You and she are finally home. There are no endings, only beginnings. Yeah, I was not gonna listen to the fucking narrator. Some idiot who's like, I'm gonna make 2 gods and then try to stop them. What did you send in chat? Me explaining to the narrator that you can't control a god even if you made it. The narrator. Yeah, right? Wow, that's a lot of alpha testers. Oh my god! Gab Smolder's Manly Badass Hero! Our song, Finish the Game, the good ending doesn't count. Thank you so much for playing. As an expression of our gratitude, here's the track order for a special playlist just for you. If you'd like to take a screenshot, you can hide the UI by hitting H. How do you take a fucking screenshot in Steam again? Or actually, just do this. Our song. Here we go. Got it. Oh, join the Discord, join our mailing list, join the subreddit, follow somewhere else, make your own playlist, play our other game, return to main menu. Snipped it, thank you. Wow. I'm gonna do this so the screen doesn't like bug out on me. Wow. So I was right in the last part where I was like, it's a love story between the two of you. Wow. How many? Have I unlocked? Oh. Wow, okay, everybody was on that shit. Thank you guys, holy shit. Katie and Ren, thank you guys so much. I think you both were working in tandem there. So... here's my question. I have 21 out of 97 achievements. That's what I thought. The good ending doesn't count. So this isn't the good ending. Okay, there's quite a few things I can do here. Wow, there's a lot of different endings. I wasn't even looking at that, honestly. There's literally one called A New and Unending Dawn and everyone hates you. her 5 vessels. Each time you reach the mirror, tell your voices they're going to die. When she awakens, slay her. Either immediately or in the cabin to unlock this achievement. So that's just to be a fuckwit, like just be a fucking asshole. So I got there are no endings, which is when she awakens, join her. And through conflict. I could also reload and get strange beginnings because I completed the stranger route, which you need to bring her the stranger first, then 4 more vessels of any kind. You need to fight her until you don't want to join her, nor do you want to slay her to unlock that achievement. So I'll keep this save file. Be a dick, the game. Yeah. Interesting. I was hoping I wouldn't need to write down all of the achievements, but I actually do. Oh boy. And it's actually close to the end, so wow, I'm gonna call it. Jesus Christ. I was worried I was gonna finish this by Sunday, but no, not when we're going for everything. Baby. The good thing is with Strange Beginnings is I can do other routes like Nightmare, Prisoner. I could do Nightmare, Prisoner, Razor immediately right there. You know, and we also haven't seen Spectre or Witch at all. Because the Stranger only has that one, so I would like to avoid repeating things as much as possible. Okay. Wow. This is a really interesting game, especially because you can ask like the narrator so many questions. I feel like really finding out what he is does require multiple playthroughs. Like what he is, what you are, how he did it. It's either that or go lore diving if for some reason you only want to play it once. But this is obviously meant to be a game that has a shit ton of replay value. Like, this is built on multiple playthroughs to get more answers. Yeah, this isn't doing what Oxenfree 2 did, which is, like, make routes and block others off for the sake of making you replay the game. It writes it in better in the way of she only needs so many vessels, and every time you give her a vessel, that world is destroyed, and you can only world hop for so long before it all starts to fold in on itself and you finally have to confront her and yourself, because you two were originally the same. It's written in a way that encourages you to replay. And not in a way that makes you feel like you have to replay, if that makes sense. Makes me wonder if you bring her a different set of vessels, if that final scene changes when she gets angry and then use them to convince you. It's because I also, through conflict, I fought her before joining her. Yeah, but like, what else does she do? Yeah. Like, how does she use them against you? That kind of thing. Yeah, like how she pulled up the Moe Princess and the Beast Princess with those specific options be different based on what you would brought her. Yes, I think they all are. I think it is different depending on the vessels that you bring her. I'm making a note to do. We're gonna find out on Friday because I'm gonna do Nightmare, Prisoner. I'm writing down which ones I haven't done at all. Razor, Spectre, and Witch are the ones I haven't done, so I can choose between any of those. And then I actually have to sit down and write out all fucking 97 achievements. I thought I just was like, oh, I can just write down the routes. Cool. No, absolutely not. I'm not going to do it in this tiny little Harley Quinn notebook, though. I'm going to use actual line paper. I can't write, in like, I can't write, like, ha ha ha, I can't write straight. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't write in a straight line without lines. Without, like, on unlined paper. Can't do it. Never could. Always ends up going diagonal. So this is interesting. I hope you guys are down with the achievement hunting, because, I mean, that's what's gonna happen. I'm very interested to see what the different endings are. I can only write gay in online books, too. Yeah, there's a lot of them. And I think we're gonna get to the point where I just start making a save, and then I just start being like, okay, go back to the beginning, do the rest of the adversary, go back to the beginning, although there are quite a few endings I need to get as well. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other endings I have to get. So, I made a note to load this first save from Monday because it had the stranger route at the very beginning. A spiritual vessel and the illusion of choice. And then, of course, there's... Hi, Neo. And then, of course, there's, like, denial, anger, bargaining. Depression, acceptance. And just as you were once nothing. And it depends on, like, you can do this by experiencing any chapter 1 you want except the stranger. Which is the first one I did, ironically. Yep. There's also destroying the mirror without asking the narrator any questions. Yeah, there's a lot. Besides the route ones as well. So this has been very, very interesting. So, yeah. Wow. This is an interesting game. The narrator's voice is better to me, by the way, this time. Like the whole, like the male voice actor, I forget his name. Jonathan, I believe it is. It's better to me now. For some reason, it was just really grating on Monday. Don't know why. I fell into it. I sunk into it. He started showing range more with some of the other characters. God, especially the Smitten. So far, the Smitten is my favorite. Yes, he's fucking Zapp Brannigan. I'm curious more about the narrator as well. Oh yeah, we'll see.